Making my way downtown, walking fast, faces best.
What brings that to mind? What brings that song to mind, Jake? Is there something in particular?
Oh, it's always going round and round in my head.
Yes.
Constantly. Never ending pain.
Vanessa Carlton really doing bits, all in all.
Is that not Vanessa Phelps?
Sorry. Vanessa Phelps? No.
Yeah.
No, very, very different people, Jake. Vanessa Phelps doing 1,000 miles.
Interesting. Yeah. On her Wake Up at 6 a.m. show on BBC
of course,
Radio 2. A rival show, not as good as ours. Welcome back to Down With Boring, everyone. Better
that's
than
what we
Vanessa
actually
Phelps.
put on the posters now. Apparently it gets more listeners if we just say it as it is, and yes, we are better than Vanessa Phelps. More likely to play new music than Vanessa Phelps. Not guaranteed.
But not guaranteed.
That's the issue. One day we hope to reach her lofty standards, but until then, join us for the fun. How are you doing? How are you doing, Jake? Good week.
I'm good. I'm actually dying, Jamie. Dying of excitement for the new issue of Dork, which has just come out. It's a live music special with a cover interview with friends of the show, friends of the magazine, sports team, conducted by myself. People adjacent to the magazine. So I spent an evening with Alex Rice in Soho for some reason.
That's all you need to know.
Where he got a photo with one of the cast members of Love Actually. Tune into the magazine to find out more.
Can't reveal. Pick up a copy and you get that scoop, if you will. That sounds like a nice time. So
it wasn't. But the magazine is good. You can order it. You can become a supporter on the Dork website. You can read it there, or you can just wait ages and ages until you bump into me in the street.
Because you're walking around with them. Is that like a poster?
Yeah, I'm going to walk every town in the UK with a satchel of copies of Dork in case listeners want to. Well, I think the next few years, really.
But yes, it's a big old issue. We talk about the acts that you should see. Basically, for now, the live music is open again. We can go to gigs, Jake. That's a reality.
That's true. We're recording this a couple of days early, but unless anything cataclysmic happens, you are allowed to look at people's faces again.
We wouldn't recommend it, but you won't.
No, don't. No, I wouldn't recommend it beforehand. So I think what's key is to remember what you were doing before the pandemic and maybe stick to that level of hygiene.
Don't see this as an opportunity to get worse at your hygiene.
Don't suck strangers' fingers on the bus.
Trust.
Jesus.
Trust me.
Speaking of things that don't go well, the mailbag.
What do you mean it doesn't go well? We get some lovely communications.
I'm going to be honest with you, Jamie. It's quite warm here, and I can't be bothered. So got the mailbag here. It's got 2 letters in it.
It is hot, everyone. Just letting everyone know it is genuinely quite hot. I'm in shorts, and I never wear shorts, so that just sums it up.
Wow. I've got a couple of letters here, actually, that I'd like to highlight as the only letters we've got. The first one, actually, is a bit... Well, I wonder what your take on this is, Jamie. So this first letter has come on Dork-headed stationery.
Right.
On the Dork.
I didn't even know we had that.
Is there.
So...
Didn't you? Well, that's interesting, because this one is from Jamie from the radio. And it says, I don't think you need Jake anymore. You'd be better off on your own.
Jamie, that's just well out of order just to come on and say something like that. That is...
Isn't your name, Jamie?
No, it's Jamie. It's a very different pronunciation very quickly. It happens a lot. We get confused quite a bit. I understand it, but there's a slight difference. It's a slight difference.
Who's we?
It's me and the collection of Jamies who just get a bit kind of confused about the whole situation. But this person, don't write in that. I mean, I know it's an opinion, and I know people want to put it out there, but that's not acceptable. Not acceptable. Don't be doing that. Don't come on and say stuff like that you're saying that it would be better if Jake wasn't here. That's not right. That's not right. That's not right, Jake. Absolutely.
And you're sure it wasn't you?
Absolutely was. I mean, why would I say such a thing?
Well, it's just the fact that you handed me the letter before the show.
It came through the post to me, unfortunately.
It's
arrived,
not got a stamp on it.
I opened the door and it was there, and I thought
it's got a sort of gravy
we have a
stain
moral
on the bottom.
duty, Jake, to read out our fair listeners' questions and comments, but we won't stand for this. And if you do it again, Jamie, come and find you.
No, you're Jamie.
I'm more J Amy.
Right. Okay. Well, moving on then. As long as that isn't something you want to get off your chest, Jamie. Oh, sorry, Amy. We've got another letter here. This one is from the Benevolent Krang from Beyond Your World. Hi, Benevolent Krang. How are you? Nice to hear from you. And Krang says, your days are numbered. Laugh while you can, for soon all will be dust. That's from the Benevolent Krang there.
Imagine if the end of the world was kind of discovered because of a letter that came on this show.
Well, you know that old sci-fi trope where they don't, take me to your leader. Maybe they've done some research and they've got it all wrong.
Send this to.
They tuned in, and this was the first radio show they got, and they were like, "Well, this must be the official Earth broadcasting system." And now they've decided to destroy the planet.
Is it addressed to Greg James? Just a very quick one to flag there.
No, it's actually addressed to Greg Wallace.
Even better. Well, they turned
with 2 G's.
Turn on MasterChef. They're like, this clearly looks like the leading kind of authority in this planet.
Well, he is, to be fair. He's always haranguing those poor guests. They're cooking, and he's not doing anything and telling them their shit.
I saw Greg Wallace once on the tube.
That's power.
Which is quite like.
Oh yeah.
He's quite a distinctive,
quite interesting
head, doesn't he? That Greg Wallace, it stands out.
Yeah, like impossible for anyone to look like
so he was
him,
like on the tube standing there, and I watched this guy who was sitting opposite him. He kind of was like looking down at his phone. He looked up, and you know when someone does like a double take, they're like, "Go and look up," and he goes like that. Looks up, and he goes, "You're Greg Wallace!" Shouts at him, and he goes, and he obviously he's trying to play it off, and he just goes, "No, mate, it's not me. That's not. It's not me." And I just went, "Mate, you just said it's not me.
It's not
just
me.
Said it's not me." And also very distinct voice. And he's like, they're like, "You're Greg Wallace." He's like, nah. It's like Greg Wallace.
I'm a big fan of this thing that people do when they see a celebrity, where they just tell the celebrity it's them.
Oh my god, it's X.
Yeah, they're just like, yes.
There's no comment really from there, isn't it? It's like, where do you go from there? I don't really understand what you could possibly do. Like, you're this, and you go, yes, and then you go, great.
I spoke to RD recently, the rising rapper, and he said that someone came up to him in the street recently in Brighton and said, like, "Oh my god, you're RD," and got a photo. And then as RD walked off, he Instagram storied him and tagged him saying, "RD's a pussy." Yeah. Just a real about face. I really
rate it. Strong.
Oh, so he said like the notification came through
while
he was
nice
walking.
Fan I just met.
So he didn't see it till later. But he was like, I realistically could have seen that while I was about 20 foot away from this person.
This is why, obviously, when you do see a famous musician out in the wild, do go up and say hi. But also, be prepared that if you do try and send for them afterwards, they will come and find you, and they know that you're an idiot.
At the very least, take a picture or do a video, and then later
on... Don't do it in real time, because
time.
Technically, he could have turned around and come and found you pretty quickly.
I wish I'd seen Greg Wallace.
It was really good. And then he just didn't accept that he was Greg Wallace, and then he ran away.
Maybe it wasn't. You imagine how annoying that'd be if you looked like Greg Wallace.
I'm not Greg Wallace, I promise. I get that all the time.
Yeah,
I bet you do, because you're Greg fucking Wallace. You maniac. Oh, amazing.
Well, thank you for your letter. Was that benevolent?
Yeah, so the world is ending, basically. Is that what we're getting from this Jake? I've got so much
says
to do.
Krang, but I mean, it's going to have taken a while to get to us from outer space, and nothing's
so much to
happened
do. Anyway, let's continue with the show, I guess.
I think I'm done.
Might as well.
Yeah, get it out of the way, I suppose, before Krang destroys us all.
We might as well. If you've got any more mailbag questions, of course, we're always open. Send them in.
Any more, aside from those two very real ones we had today, if you've got any more that you could send through so that I don't have to sit here before the show writing them, for example.
Which doesn't happen. Just letting everyone know that doesn't happen.
No, of course not.
No. These are...
but if Krang hadn't written in, it could have done.
Yeah, these are real questions, as can be told by the benevolent Krang, who famously got in touch via Insta.
He doesn't sound very benevolent,
DMs,
does he?
Actually, weirdly enough, which is quite nice of him. That's the new way of doing it.
Yeah, XX baby Krang.
Would you like to accept this request? It says that he's the destroyer of worlds, but yeah, all right.
It also said he wants to sell me some cryptocurrency, so I'm not sure.
Please write in.
I'd like to sell you something, Jamie. Music news.
Amazing. I love that. Yeah, how much is it worth?
What was that word? Lazing. I don't know. It's free. Have as much as you want.
Let me...
Fill yourself up.
Amazing. Well, let me get the first scoop of this buffet, and let's come to you with some music news. And that is, there's a big show, a once in a generation broadcast is happening in September. Yes, Down with Boring
I don't believe
is going
that
live.
unless
yes, huge.
Wow, I don't believe it's a once in a generation show unless DJ Snake, Rag and Bone Man, and Demi Lovato are all playing.
I've got really good news.
And Ricky Martin.
Right, Jake, I can confirm they're all there. Once in a generation.
Great.
Confirmed.
That is once in a generation.
This is Global Citizen Live, which is obviously an anti-poverty charity. They've done quite a few different music events all over the place. They've done, I think if you remember correctly, they did like a Global Citizen thing last year during the pandemic. If you remember that video of the Rolling Stones doing all their stuff live from their various rooms.
Oh, wait, was this the video with Elton John
That would be the
screaming?
one, yes, the famous. Yeah, that was part of that. So that was really good. So they've done that.
That one.
People
with a basketball hoop in the background for some reason.
People who complain like, "Oh man, don't be so rude to Elton." It's like Elton could buy me if he would like. He could buy my life in one go. He's fine.
Elton John knew he was doing a live stream or a broadcast from his massive home, and for some reason put a piano in front of a kid's basketball hoop. Like Elton's in on the joke.
Anyway, Global Citizen are following this up. We're going to do a brand new broadcast called Global Citizen Live in September. And there's a lot of acts playing. So what's going to happen is it's a 24-hour global broadcast, which will take place on September 25th in a bid to unite the world to defend the planet and defeat poverty. So realistic goals, easy goals here. Stuff we can do.
I thought you were going to say defeat Krang there.
I might have to fucking add it in now. Stay with it.
Poverty and Krang.
Oh, and Krang, of course, as well. So, yeah.
This lineup is wild.
It's madness. So 24-hour broadcast. They're going to basically be streaming around the world, different shows. I think there's going to be some actual physical gigs, some recordings, like a whole range of stuff. Now the live music is back. But, yeah, the lineup is mental. We're talking Lorde, talking Billie Eilish, we're talking The Weeknd.
See, interesting that you've gone with that angle because I meant it was mental in the fact that Hugh Jackman
Why is that
playing.
Mental, Jake? Have you not seen The Greatest Showman?
You know,
what an amazing
Wolverine. Show. Yeah, but I just love the fact that they've gone. Hugh Jackman is playing, who is obviously of the same musical profile as Lizzo, who is obviously of the same musical profile as like Christine and the Queens, who are the same as Ricky Martin.
It was the same as Metallica, of course.
Like who vetted this list? This is like the people they've got, like BTS. Yeah. That's one of the biggest acts on the planet.
Huge.
Burna Boy, huge. Camila Cabello, huge. And then just like you're looking at like Green Day, I mean, huge. And then it's just like and also Keith Urban.
It's a real mix. Usher is there.
Usher,
still in,
just
still
throw
in
Usher
there.
in at the end.
You know, Coldplay, Ed Sheeran, Duran Duran. It's massive, is what we're trying to say. Huge lineup, 24 hours.
Are we?
Are you excited? It'll be broadcast on BBC One too.
Yeah, I'm only going to watch the shit ones, I think.
Should we come back to this in a few weeks and watch it together on this show? We'll do a live watch along for 24 hours. Is that okay? I'm not sure about that.
No, I'm going to be at work and I'm like, sorry, I'm out for the next hour. I need to watch Hugh Jackman and Deborah Lee Furness, who are apparently so talented as singers that they are on the same level as people that have got diamond-selling albums. Have you seen Les Miserables?
What, the film? Oh, yeah. I've seen the film. Yes, yeah.
Hugh Jackman's singing approach is basically, if I'm really loud, that's good.
Yeah, I love him.
I love Hugh Jackman. I think he's great. But I didn't come away from that film thinking, I can't believe he's a famous actor. Pop music has really lost a legend.
When will I see him on a lineup with Andrea Bocelli? That's didn't bring him to mind.
Also, Adam Lambert just in there.
Just thrown in. He'll get Queen along.
Just
him, what are they
though.
doing?
Yeah, just like odd that. Do you think they rang
like,
and he picked up the phone? And there was a mistake. They were like, "Can you come along and do a show?" And he's like, "Yeah, no worries." And he's turned up, and they've gone.
Is there anyone else?
Just you.
Anyone else coming? No. Okay. Anyway, it's gonna be big. Basically, think this is like another big show in the vein of like a Live Aid or a Live Earth, famously. So I'm all up for this. I'm all up for the chaos and the ridiculousness of it all. Yeah, also for a brilliant cause. So, you know, as much as there's some chaos,
let them know it's not Christmas time.
Listen, did you know, of course, Jake, what the planet, of course, truly needs is the power of the sun. And by that, I mean solar power by Lord, who's playing the show.
Oh, we're not going to listen to Hugh Jackman.
This is Lord Solar Power.
Think 3 times when you feel it kicking in that sun.
I think she took a lot from Hugh Jackman for that song, and I won't elaborate on that.
Do you reckon? Is that what you think?
I think she watched X2, the second X-Men film, and thought, this is it.
Watched Logan and thought, yeah, I can get into this.
Oh no, not Logan. X2.
X2. Shout out X2.
That Wolverine. Or maybe the Wolverine Origins where he's in Japan for some reason. That one.
Of course, Disney Plus, if you're listening, we do take sponsorship.
I don't even think Wolverine is. Isn't he?
Nah, Disney own everything now. Have you not heard?
Yeah,
they own
literally everything.
They own everything.
Anytime we mention a product, it's Disney.
Disney have got a hand in it in some way. They've got a hand in this.
So that was Lord with solar power, and of course Disney. If you're listening, thank you for letting us do it.
Yeah, greatly appreciated. Let's move on to some more news, Jake. Let's talk about something a bit different. Let's talk about Black Midi, of course. Acclaimed band, Mercury Prize nominated. Latest album came out not too long ago. So they're thinking, right, who are we going to get to support us on our UK tour coming up?
See, I always think this with bands, because what if you pick a support that's better than you and you don't realise, or a support that goes on to be bigger than you, right? That's hard. So how do you avoid that?
Yeah, it's alarming, isn't it? It's like, what are we going to do? What are we going to do? But these shows that are in kind of like August and September, they've gone, right, who are we going to get? Who are we going to get on stage? They're actually doing some open mic competitions.
That'll
which are going
to
find support,
ensure that the people aren't as good as them.
Yeah, so they're basically looking for talents of all varieties. They've said that the only parameters will be your performance must not be over 3 minutes. Very, very short support. Musical instruments are not allowed. Backing tracks are permissible. So this is what you mean, Jake, when you think, I don't want them to be like,
Yeah, that's
overshine.
Real, like, can't have a good band playing.
Here's some suggestions. Stand-up, magic tricks, storytelling, singing, Is that an instrument? I think you'll find it probably is. Juggling, whatever you believe will entertain the crowd and guide you to ultimate glory. And then the audience on the night of these open mic competitions, they'll win a cash prize of £100. So,
can I just say,
mad.
It is truly heartbreaking that Pudsey the dog is dead. Because Pudsey would clean up.
Who were we talking about? Pudsey? Oh, it was with Charlie from TV Priest. We were talking about,
of course.
which you can listen back to
Pudsey,
if you obviously go back and obviously have a listen through the Dork Archives.
Pudsey's dead.
I mean, yeah, you won't find Pudsey there, but you'll find us talking about Pudsey at least.
And his inexplicable feature film.
Yes, of course. Fuck's sake.
Truly a diseased country, isn't it?
So yeah, Jake, how do you feel about this? Basically, before they play their headline show every night on this run of tour dates, there's going to be some open mic competition. So there'll be just a range of people coming up on stage doing random things. It'll be like being like a dodgy pub, except you're paying probably more for a pint, and you're also probably like seated.
This is the thing, I think. Like this on paper is like a brilliant idea, and I think would be great fun. But like, there's going to be some nights on this tour.
It's going to go bad, isn't it?
Like, this is why they've got that 3-minute cap, isn't it? But like, some of the stuff that's going to come up, it's just going to be abysmal, isn't it?
I'm fully up for like, there'll be some ridiculous things and there'll be some truly awful things, you know? It's like when you do karaoke, there's always, there's people who come up who are amazing.
Well, I assume some of it will just be karaoke.
Oh, yeah.
Maybe we could do it, Jamie?
We could do it. Yeah.
I was thinking...
Yeah, what are you thinking here?
We could duet.
Okay.
Like we do on the show sometimes.
Yeah. Endless Love by Lionel Richie Jones?
No, I was thinking a classic, right?
Right.
With 2 parts for us to sing to each other. It's going to be very tasteful.
Will this be
very romantic?
Will this be in keeping with the Black Midi spirit as well, I hope?
Of course.
Okay, good,
of
cool.
course.
Yeah, that's all fun.
Experimental,
nice.
Pushing the boundaries.
Nice.
Sounds a bit crap. So it's going to be... Summer Nights by Grease, I think.
Oh,
by Grease.
I can picture it now.
Not sure why I said by Grease. From Grease.
I can see it now. I can see us gathered around together. Black Midi side of stage.
You play Grease, I play Grease. Yeah, well, Black Midi won't be able to come on. We'll just be doing that, and the crowd will go wild.
Like, just fucking guys. You do.
How long is Summer Nights?
Good, 3.5 minutes. It's actually not as long as people think, but it is still.
Maybe we'll have to do it at 110% speed.
Yeah. We can cut out a few wellers. That's all I'm saying.
Well, tell me more.
Well.
Well, just well.
Yeah, if you want to join on that tour, by the way, you can basically, the open mic competitions will be in Bristol, Manchester, Birmingham, and Glasgow. All you have to do is send an audition tape to an email. So just go to Black Midi's Instagram.
Well, so it's not even like you just turn up on the day.
Nah, it's selected beforehand.
I mean, that is definitely fair enough. But also,
very smart, isn't it?
I would enjoy it. They should have one date on the tour where it's just just fucking turn up, do what you want.
But yeah, incredible stuff. Jay, do you have?
I do. Yeah. So, Avenged Sevenfold, friends of the show.
Stop. Friends of the show. Rock, mate. Rock bands winning again. Yeah. My God.
Yeah. I mean, when we have Avenged Sevenfold on the show.
Yes. Yeah. Famous there. Stop by all the time. Sinister Gates always comes round to say hi.
He does, yeah.
He does.
I just remember we had them on, and we couldn't broadcast it in the end because it didn't actually happen. But it was great.
It was great.
We obviously had Zaki Vengeance here and Brooks Whacker Man. But anyway, if you at home would like the feeling of meeting Avenged Sevenfold again and again and again, fans who purchased an NFT of something of theirs are going to be offered meet and greets with the band for life.
Oh no!
One of them, you meet and greet, great, and then the second one, it's like, oh, here you are again. What happens after that? When you're on like the 15th meet and greet, you've met them.
Yeah, unless you just like consistently meeting them. Like, is there an artist that you would be like, you know what? Every time you're in town, I would like to be like, hey, how you doing, mate?
But what's funny about it is like the meet and greet scenario is always I haven't done it, but like when you see the pictures, it's very like, hi, I'm a big fan. Sign this, get a picture.
Yeah.
It's not you're going for a pint with them.
Yeah, the idea.
Just like the 15th time, it's like, hi guys, it's me again. If I was them, I'd just pretend not to know who they are every single time.
Oh my god, who are you?
They'd run out of things to sign. Like, I've brought you a box of dishwasher tablets because everything else in my house is signed by you already.
So basically, this is you can get into any meet and greet for the rest for forever, for life.
Yeah.
So that means technically, if they
not the gig though.
No, very very famously, not the gig. You can go to the meet and greet, not the gig. You still have to pay for the ticket. But basically, if they do like a 20-date tour, there is nothing stopping someone who has this from going to every single date and be like, hey guys.
Yeah, but I mean, they've been around for like 20-something years. 20 odd years. So even if you don't go to every day on the tour, you could quickly get to a point where you've met them and
multiple
grabbed
times.
them like 8 times. I just don't see the appeal of that. I love this idea that you'd be like, oh yeah, we're gonna head down the pub for a couple of pints tonight. It's like, yeah, probably be there around 8. I've got to go meet and greet Avenged Sevenfold first.
They will become like they're close, like yeah. But the thing is, you've got to hope that these fans are actually, all right. That they aren't a bit.
Yeah. How quickly would you regret this if one of them turns out to be a freak?
Yeah, like very, very. And bearing in mind they would have bought an NFT, so already,
exactly.
Alarming.
How quickly do you think Johnny Christ is going to get annoyed at this fan? How quickly do you think M Shadows is going to be annoyed at the presence of a weirdo?
Can I just
not used to a weirdo is Sinister Gates.
Doesn't this element defeat the point of an NFT very quickly?
Yeah, well, isn't the point that they're valuable on their own?
Yes.
You're basically just buying lifetime access to the band.
Forever. They can't escape these
20 years into their career
fans.
When everyone has kind of forgotten about them.
They're there. Is it like a cash in? So like every year you have to you knock on like M Shadow's door and it's like, look guys, I know you haven't toured this year, but I am owed, Come on.
I'm owed at least 2 meet and greets.
I need a picture and I need you to sign fucking like my cast.
Them in the same nursing home inexplicably, and you're just knocking on the door like, hi guys, thought you could maybe sign something, get a photo
Come on.
in front of a banner.
This is when next week Avenged Sevenfold announced that they're like splitting up, and it's a very clever move. Well done, guys.
And coming back together as Avenged Eightfold, but nothing is valid from the previous band. I guess the thing is, if you're doing this, it seems like an easy way to give something back to the fans. But as we'll find out in this song, it's almost easy by Avenged Sevenfold. We'll be joined after this by
the wonderful Millie from the Ninth Wave.
That's right. Completely forgot. We record these separately, and for a second there, because of the heat, I just forgot who we were talking to. The heat got me.
Thank God.
We're talking to Millie from the Ninth Wave.
Really going to come and save the show.
After Almost Easy by Avenged Sevenfold. And we're back.
And we're back. We are back. You can feel us return after that track that you just heard. We
leave while every track plays for a sense of returning. And we've returned with someone, haven't we, Jamie?
We certainly have. We are joined now on this wonderful trip into who knows what by the wonderful Millie from the Ninth Wave. Millie, how are we doing? How are things? Welcome to this.
Hello, thank you very much for having me.
You can really feel it's. I always wonder how we describe this place, Jake. It's more just like a here.
I always feel like when bands get asked on things like, so when did you know that you'd hit the big time? I like to think this is the point. When you I've made it.
Well, all right. This is the moment when we can say that you've made it. That
Millie, this is the moment I'll be telling my grandkids about. Don't you worry.
Exactly, that's the point. The turning point. Some bands will be like, it's when we sold out our first show at a stadium. But I think that's too far along. It's this.
Right, it's this. I mean, for better or for worse, you'll be telling your grandkids about this.
I don't think a single band that we've had on this show has broken up yet. So
yet, yeah, that's the positive.
Oh,
yeah. So
there's a first time for everything.
Yeah. Here's hoping we can make it through in one piece.
I like that it's just you, and you're still like, hey, maybe you can convince me to leave.
I don't know what you're gonna say. Oh no, it's gone bad. Oh, is it? But how are things, Millie, in the world of the Ninth Wave? How is everything? Obviously, brand new song out. How is everything?
Yeah, it feels good. I feel like we have been sitting on this material for a very, very long time, just like, oh my god, we cannot wait for people to hear this. And I feel like now it's finally out. It's a little bit like what do we do? What
do we do now?
What do we do now? It's out, and then we're like, okay, next, come on, we need to keep going.
Keep going. Exactly.
But we need to remember to slow down and just enjoy the song being out, and not just be like, oh yes, it's gone so well, let's just release more, because it has been so exciting to release music that we love all this stuff, and it's so exciting to see it finally out in the world, and the response has been really good. So, it's good for the old ego.
Yeah, nice
little validation. It's good.
Yeah. Get the boost. You're like, yeah, I know we're good, but I just needed you just to say that. I just need to.
If you could all form an orderly queue and tell me how great I am, we'll release another song afterwards.
But only if there's enough. Only if there's enough praise. Yeah. We'll hold it back. But it must be it kind of feels like you guys are. It feels like you're maybe one of the most prolific bands kind of going. It feels like especially in 2020, there was just a lot of new music coming out in various different forms, EPs, new tracks and stuff. Is it very much you've had to, you kind of held back on this one because you're like, wow, we put out a lot kind of last year. Are we kind of just taking our time with it a little bit?
I think, we are definitely machines that do not like to slow down. I think we all love being busy far too much. Maybe we should go to therapy about that. I don't know, but music seems to work for us. So the more we put out music, the more sane we are, I think. So, but not putting any music out for a long time, we've all been driving ourselves a wee bit mad. Yeah,
it's been good. It must be great as well to see that reaction as well. Do you still kind of get those nerves when putting out a new track?
Oh, yeah, especially because this one was a little bit different to what we've done before. So we were like, oh my gosh, are people gonna, think we're, Travis Scott wannabes for this song? Are we gonna lose our entire audience? But we're like, this is the music we want to make. And, if you don't make music for yourself, then who are you making it for?
Yeah, exactly. I guess what kind of almost pushed you in this new, I guess, newish direction? I think that's a fair way to put it. There's obviously still a lot of the Ninth Wave kind of I don't know, trademarks, if you will, in it, but it kind of feels like it is this kind of slightly different kind of sound, a little bit, this kind of I don't know, very euphoric kind of big sound, kind of where do you feel that's kind of come from, I guess?
I guess it's kind of we've always liked the kind of kind of grander sounds. On Infancy, it was all very large and washy, and we kind of kind of just naturally found a like happy medium between the world we created for infancy and the world that we explored in Happy Days. And I guess because Happy Days was an opportunity for us to, you know, twiddle with our knobs a little bit more and explore new sounds that we.
Jesus Christ! I mean, I don't
Slipping that in there. Just
Sorry,
gonna slip it in and move on.
yeah.
that we hadn't explored before. So I think that.
You've always talked about, like, you know, no bad split up yet. Nice.
I think I'll just tune in and see how Millie did. Yeah, so we've been twiddling with our knobs for the first time.
We're just like, oh god, don't put that in the quote.
Yeah, I'm keeping it PG. What's wrong?
Of course.
You are walking the fine line.
Amazing. But yes, you have been. Yes, doing that.
Yeah, so I think that having, you know, I don't want to say pure like, oh, pandemic album, like, well, but I mean, we had a lot of time on our hands, so we spent a lot of that time like exploring new depths of where we could go.
Yeah, no, definitely.
Instead of just feeling sorry for ourselves, we decided to get creative. So.
Yeah, exactly. You know, just be like, actually, you know, happy days are coming, right? See what I did there, Jake?
Horrible.
Deeply apologise. With the new track as well, we've seen, obviously, the music video. First of all, a lot of cars driving around there, a lot of donuts, if you will. What was that like to kind of film?
Oh my gosh. So, do you want to know something terrifying? I fell off one of the podiums when the car was spinning round.
Oh my God.
And I have never seen a crew run so fast. Everybody thought I'd been run over because the podium was like maybe like 3 or 4 feet off the ground, and I was wearing like 2-inch platform creepers, and I was throwing myself about, and I fell off and I landed on the back of a light, but I just disappeared down the back of the podium. And the car was doing a donut coming towards me, and I remember just lying on the floor being like, this is it. This is my last sight.
What a way to go, though.
Yeah, I was like, I'm here for it. Like, thank you for a great time. But no, it was.
Like, sorry, is there anything cooler than being like, oh, how did they die? Oh, well, they were wearing platform creepers and fell off the podium into the way of a car doing a donut while filming a music video.
That is quite a
like that's up there, isn't it?
But you know what's even cooler? I live to tell the tale.
Exactly.
Well, it's whether or not it's cooler, it's definitely better. It's definitely a better outcome.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's true.
It's confirmed.
True.
But it looked good. But it looked like a ridiculous shoot. That
it was. See, the next day we were all like, "Oh my gosh, we can't breathe. We've got coronavirus." Like that's it. But I think it was just all the car fumes, and also just being like chucked around the back of a car for like an hour.
Yes, yeah. I was about to say because the up close shots of you and Hayden kind of like flying about in this car. Yeah, I mean, like, thank God you didn't get, like, you know, like, travel sickness is my main...
Oh my God, it was so fun. I mean, I wouldn't have cared. It was so fun. It was one of those moments in life where you're just like, people pay so much money to do this, and this is part of my career. This is, like, something I have to do as part of my job. I'm like, whoa, what a shame.
I'm looking forward to music videos in the future where you just think of other stuff that you'd really like to do. Like, we have to do this for the video. It's really important.
Yes. Yeah, I really see this as part of my creative vision.
Yeah.
This month in California is necessary because of the music video.
Yeah, it's for the video. Like, it's in the storyboard now. Come on now.
Yeah. Well, I'll pitch it. I'll see where I get.
We'll pitch it and see what happens. So following on. But this obviously feels like the start of a new a chapter, for lack of a better term, for you guys, and obviously with more new music to come. Is it you know, obviously without going into specifics, because we got to reveal later on. You got to reveal as the months go on. Leave people wanting more. But is it very much this kind of sound is very much where you can see it going for obviously what's coming next as well?
I think it's definitely not far away, but we're not kind of pigeonholing ourselves into one little definitive space. But it's definitely of the same world. Very exploring different creative paths and such.
Nice.
But we had a lot of fun making the album, and a lot of it's funny because there was a lot of strange there's a very strange melancholy to the songs, I think, because of just because of the times that were going on, and there was a lot of pent up confusion and frustration. So all the songs are a lot heavier than we kind of expected them to be, but in a very good, nice, surprising way that isn't too heavy. I'm not selling this very well, but it sounds really.
This is how you tease it. This is how you tease what's to come without giving anything away. I'm fully into it. This is it. This is how to sell it.
Maybe this is just what happens after you spend a day getting thrown around a car.
Yes.
I can't remember anything. Recording now is a distant memory.
Yeah. It flew out of your ears as you were going round another corner. Incredible. Well, let's and obviously you must be looking forward to getting back on stage as well. Obviously things are starting to when this show is out, unless something really ridiculous happens over the next few days. We'll be back in a setting where there's gigs happening. People can come along to shows, and obviously for these new songs and songs from Happy Days as well that you haven't been able to kind of play in that live setting. That must be something that you're really looking forward to.
Completely. I feel like when we were writing and recording Happy Days, the one thing that we were all thinking was, oh my god, I can't wait to play this live. This is going to be so good to play live. Yeah. And then a year later, we started playing them, and we've created all this other new music that we didn't really think that thought of how is this going to sound live kind of left our heads. But then learning how to play the new songs and stuff, we were like, oh, these also will also sound really good live. Oh my gosh, we have a backlog of material now. We're an actual band. What? How did this happen?
What happened here? Here? Exactly. Well, let's have a listen to the new track. Very quickly though, I saw that as a band you tweeted out obviously which one of these dweebs can sort a Rubik's Cube the fastest. Millie, can you confirm who can, or are you still waiting to see the full results?
Oh, well, can I ask you who you think first?
Oh,
well, I think as the only person here, I'm going to say you.
Yeah.
Oh, that is so flattering.
I don't know any of the rest of them, so I thought, it's you, obviously.
I think I would have to give it to you, though I do think that Hayden would be very focused if it was right, I need to do this fast. I reckon he would
you couldn't be more incorrect.
See, Jamie, this is why you just say the guest and move on.
I had to give the other side. I had to.
Honestly.
Oh.
Okay, you want to know the answer?
Yes.
Of course, yeah.
It's Charlo. Charlo is the fastest person I've ever seen to fix a Rubik's Cube. And
how long are we talking?
He's a mastermind. I think, oh my gosh, he did it in less than a minute, I think it was, when we were in the studio. I can't remember how much it was it was fast. Maybe even 30 seconds. I'm definitely playing him down. He's gonna listen back to this and be like, actually it was 18 seconds.
I've got it recorded here. Can you please just go and have a listen to this? Incredible. Well, obviously I presume a new range of Ninth Wave Rubik's Cubes coming soon on the horizon. And until then, until that joyous time that we can listen to that, let's have a listen to the new track that we've been talking about. So this is Maybe You Didn't Know by the Ninth Wave. There it is. A A tune. We'll just keep
How much
playing
do you
it.
think Rubik's Cube is worth as a company?
What, as in just like them? They're like brand.
Sorry,
value,
the company's called Spin Master.
According
to the internet.
That means there's
Spin
more
Master.
games that they've got.
I don't know. I feel like they probably trade on the cube quite a lot, don't they? Like Lego.
I'm sure they do. Rubik's Cube, if you are listening, we do take sponsors.
Well, that's Spin Master, if you're listening.
Sorry, Spin Master, if you are listening. We do
Rubik's
take...
Cube, if you're listening, we do take endorsements. So
Yeah, send us a batch.
We need 10% of that if it happens, though, because it happened through the show. So
we all get a Rubik's Cube. Joyous
that's
times.
it. That's all you're aiming
That's all we're
for.
getting.
One Rubik's Cube each.
It's the little things. It's the little things. Jake, should we dive into what many people call their favourite part of the show, and also much more people call the worst?
Yes.
Yes, let's shall. We're gonna play a game now, Millie, which we've helped.
You're gonna play the game.
Oh.
Yeah. To be fair,
Okay, hit me.
it's called Maybe You Didn't, Maybe You Shouldn't Know. Wait. Tense. You can feel it.
Just for anyone listening at home, we did brief Millie before, so that's why she sounded enthusiastic. She's had time to build up in her mind the fact that she has to pretend.
Enthusiastic enough?
Yeah, that was far more than it deserved.
Come back to it.
An unbelievable level of enthusiasm, I would say.
Yeah, much more than it deserved, to be honest. So what we're going to do is we're going to ask you a number of different things, number of different moments you encounter in life, number of questions that you kind of think, oh, maybe we want that answered, and we kind of just want to hear from you whether you'd want to know the answer to this, or whether you'd rather not know anything. Just live in blissful, ignorance of it.
Okay.
Just don't even think about it.
Okay, cool.
Predict to the future.
Cool.
Jake, would you like to start us off?
I'd love to. So, would you, if you had the option, would you want to know, or would you rather not know what happens when you die?
Ooh, heavy.
On a spiritual level, not physically. We know that.
If I could know before I die, would I have to die first?
I feel like you could know before you died.
Know before, yeah.
Yes, I would 100% like to know.
Well, what if it's horrible?
Well, then you enjoy your life a little bit more because you got to appreciate the smaller things.
What if it's really good?
Coming.
Well, then you just live a happy life and then know.
I don't know. I feel like if it was really good, you'd just be there like, oh, I've got fucking years left.
What?
People are like, oh, are you ready for the new music video? And you're like, I don't care. I mean, you don't realise how good it is on the other side. I'm just waiting. I'm in the lobby here.
Well, no, maybe it'll make you maybe it'll make you work harder in life because you're like, well, if that's what it's like up there, then what can it be like right now?
Yeah, I think we're fundamentally different people on this. I think that's what we're coming up against here.
Basically,
There's some real optimism here.
Jake's like, I'll just sack it off. Really, I'll just sack off life.
I literally just
That's
sit
what
there.
you've done.
I'd sit there waiting. checking my phone occasionally, like, oh, another 50 years. Checking the life expectancy in the UK every time they publish it, like, oh, fingers crossed it's a bit lower.
Getting closer.
Yeah.
That's why you buy Sims. Waste the time away.
Oh, what optimism from Jake here.
Always.
Oh, sensational. On a different note, would you? Well, actually, on a pretty similar note.
Yeah, almost exactly the same. Really,
yeah, it's almost exactly the same. Would you want to know, or would you rather not know the meaning of life? So if it was like, everyone's searching for the meaning of life.
Oh, you know what that reminds me of? So there's the Church of Scientology, when you reach a certain level of their payments, you get to read the meaning of life. You get to read, you get to open this secret book and read the passage, and you have security guards looking over your shoulder, making sure you're not taking photos of it. And if you don't understand what the meaning is, they just, if you disagree with any of it, they're like, well, you obviously don't understand the English well enough because you haven't understood this, because this is just the meaning of life, and you have to understand this because this is why you're here. And so I feel like that's traumatized quite a lot of people.
Yes.
So no.
No.
Can you imagine how embarrassing it would be if, like, you did die and you went up there and they were like, I'm sorry, Scientology is the only correct religion, so you can't come into heaven? We all take the piss out of it, but what if they're right? What if somehow they've got it right?
Sorry,
imagine you read that book and you're like, oh my god, that's it. You know?
But you know, I was listening to this on one of the Louis Theroux Grounded podcasts, and the women on the show told us what the fuck the thing then.
Oh,
and
that's not
like,
allowed.
Brilliant.
And,
what was it? Just like eat your veggies and don't stay up too late.
Was it something really abstract like bus stops? And that was it. And it's like,
do you want to know? Do you actually want to know?
Well, let's break it on the show.
I won't believe it either way. But we might get hunted down by Scientologists. So if this is the last show we ever do, Tom Cruise has killed us.
Well, I'm nervous now.
What is it? No,
Louis Theroux's still alive, so
that is true. But he's getting squirrel, whatever it is. He's getting hunted down by the Scientologists every single day.
That's true.
Well, I mean, maybe it'll add a little bit more excitement in my life if I get squirrel hunted. So basically, they said that we aren't actually, like, we don't have our own souls or something. I'm definitely, like, misquoting this, so this is not word for word. But basically, we're made up from, like, bits of other people, like, dead, like, souls, and none of us is actually ourselves. And basically, like, everything we do is because, like, we're made up of, like, bits of other people and stuff. So you're not actually an individual. And that stuff. It's quite deep. But it's like, like, the meaning of life is that you're nothing.
So this is like in one of those like B movies where you get like the brain of a criminal and then start committing crimes, but like you can have like the toe of a criminal and that's why you always kick stuff.
Precisely.
That impressive. So I'm into it. Sign me up.
Jigsaws. We are like jigsaws of
we are
different
Frankenstein's
people.
monster. We are all Frankenstein's monster. And
nothing.
God is Frankenstein.
It's not too far away from what the truth is, isn't it?
Yeah.
We are just a bit of everything, but
I think it's far enough away.
It's said in a lot more of a like sci-fi demeanor.
Yeah.
So I definitely simplified it a lot. I bet the Scientologists are listening.
Well, thank you for interpreting.
Yeah, thank you for breaking the news. And also, any Scientologists listening, we have a mailbag every week. We'd love to hear from you. For your
Send in your letters, death threats, whatever.
We'll bring them in.
No letter bombs, please.
Please. Moving on from Scientology.
Yes. So, would you want to know, or would you rather not know, how they make Cocoa Pops?
Why is it bad?
I don't know. I don't know. No one's ever told me.
You say that as if, like, it's like one of those clickbait links, like, discover how they really make.
I mean, we wouldn't know, but the problem is it's like, do you take the risk? Like, it could be horrible. It could be actually quite nice.
I would like to know, just so that can be like my knowledge for a pub quiz if it ever comes up.
Yes, that's a good shout.
That would be a hell of an answer. Like, how a Cocoa Pop's made, you're there writing like a whole paragraph. Like, first, the rice is harvested.
Well, it could be an extra points round.
It could be, that's true.
But just to let everyone know, obviously, on this question, I've just quickly looked up how a Cocoa Pop's made. Well,
don't ruin it. I don't want to know.
Do you not want to know?
No, go on then.
It's apparently under the watchful eye of Coco the monkey. So
great.
The monkey on the box.
That is the best answer. You know what day it is today? It's Funky Monkey Friday, so maybe it's the good.
Famously, it is Funky Monkey Friday, although this does get broadcast on Melancholy Monkey Monday.
No!
So you can look forward to it, though, the coming Friday.
Best day of the week, Funky Monkey Friday.
Just a few days left until Funky Monkey Friday, guys.
Shout out Funky Monkey Friday.
Always.
Incredible. I've got another one for you now. Would you want to know, or would you rather not know, why elephants have tusks?
Why would I not want to know that? That's an amazing thing to know. That sounds great. I would like to know. So I can maybe one day grow tusks.
I love the reasoning. If I
find out why they have them, I'll be able to do it.
I want them. I want
knowledge is power.
That's true.
Do you reckon it's almost like a beard for them? Like, it kind of just grows unless they kind of tend to the tusks. And obviously...
Well, I don't think they get a say in whether they grow the
Jamie,
tusks.
what is the alternative to that? What, they choose to grow them?
I don't know, I just feel like...
They go to the shop and buy them.
I thought maybe, I don't know, that like, they just haven't got enough skincare routines maybe to kind of like bring it down.
Sorry, what part of the elephant do you think the tusk is?
Like, chin in it. Is that where
Chin?
it is? Yeah.
Elephant chin.
As you can see, animal anatomy is not
Elephant
my strong
chin.
point. Elephant chin. I agree. I think that's just a clear one to know, isn't it?
Well,
Again,
for
great to
you,
pop
yeah,
quiz.
apparently, because you think they come out their fucking chin.
Falling apart, Jake.
Okay, yes. Would you want to know, or would you rather not know, how many Watsits you can fit in your mouth at one time?
I'm so sorry, but I already know that answer.
You already know. There it is.
So you did want to know.
Giant Watsits, saviour of the pandemic. I ate so many giant Watsits.
How big's a giant Watsit? Is it like a sort of meatloaf size? Like you slice
Not
a bit
big
off.
enough. Not big enough, that's all I say.
Like a beef tomato.
It's just like a
Can you
giant
fit it in the
Watsit.
kitchen? Is it like house cat size?
What, they have to keep
or is
it
it like
outside?
a cow?
Oh my god.
Keep it in the barn.
I would pay so much money for a house cat Watsit. I would.
Just wandering around.
Oh, that's the what's it. Like when people complain about cat fur everywhere, they're like, oh, there's cheese dust everywhere.
Meet my pet.
It's a what's it. But
I
it's
don't
big.
think it would last very long. It probably would last.
Yeah, exactly. It would end really badly. How? I mean, we've got to ask now. How many Watsits can you fit in your mouth at one time? What is the number?
Well, I did normal size Watsits or giant Watsits.
Well, giant seems to be the way you're heading. So
Yeah,
that seems
so
to be
giant.
the favoured what's it.
So I'm pretty sure I can fit at least 15 giant Watsits in my mouth.
Wow.
That's amazing.
If I really tried.
That's
But
impressive.
what a waste, because some of them are going to have to be spat out, so you don't want to waste any Watsits.
Yeah,
So-
that's very true. Long and short of it.
You're not going to appreciate that many what's it's,
No.
are you?
Yeah.
One at a time.
Yeah, one at a time.
Appreciate the Watsits for what they are.
Giant house cats.
well, talking of giant cats, Watsits, would you want to know, or would you rather not know, what cats think about people?
Oh no, I would not want to know that.
It'd be bad, wouldn't it? It'd be very bad.
So
I
much
know
trauma
it's
in that
bad.
reply. Oh no.
Oh,
No.
Well,
No.
I wouldn't. You know what? I would like to know even less though. What seagulls think about people.
Yeah.
Just
you reckon-
disdain, isn't it?
Just disdain.
Oh.
Yeah, a seagull kicked me in the face once.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
I was in Brighton the other weekend and I watched at least 10 seagulls dive bomb this one little boy. He must have been about 6
They
years
sense
old.
weakness. I'm from Brighton, and like anyone who's from Brighton can tell you, like you have to sort of, when they say like with bears, you should try and make yourself look big. With seagulls, you got to look like you know what you're doing. You're like, this is my food, and I know how to hold on to it. Because if you falter, they come for you.
This little boy was like, he had his hands up to the sky and he was like, no! And he was holding,
Why me?
This is horrific.
holding his ice cream up to the seagulls, like to just be like, take it from me.
Just take it. Oh.
Traumatizing.
Oh
So
my
no,
God.
I would not like to know, for the specific reason that I know it would be bad, and I quite like living my life not knowing what cats really think about us.
I think that's a very, very,
I like
very
to
fair
think
point.
that they're friendly.
Yeah.
I think cats are basically dumb, aren't they? Like, we think of them as like really intelligent, but I imagine like they're obviously they must be pretty stupid because they're the pet in the scenario.
They are so much smarter than you think they are. I
That's
bet
not
you.
true. Yesterday, I looked out my window and there was a cat sitting down, staring at a bin.
Maybe
That's
it
not
knew more
clever.
about that bin than you did. Maybe
Oh,
there was
no.
something about that bin.
Yeah.
Maybe. Okay, you got me. I don't know. Okay, would you rather know or not know what is at the bottom of the ocean?
Giant squid. So they terrify me.
That was a very weird noise.
Giant squid.
It was like you really didn't want to say it, but it forced its way out of you.
So my friend, my best friend, from the age of like 2 years old, used to want to be a marine biologist. So she used to be obsessed with what was at the bottom of the ocean. So she used to send me all these videos, not send me, she'd like show me all of these videos of giant squid washed up on shores and be like, no one's ever found one alive. This is what's lying at the bottom of the ocean. And we would have sleepovers and stay up till like 11 o'clock at night looking at videos of giant squid. And so for that reason, I have traumatized myself, and so I don't want to know what's at the bottom of the ocean. But also, Loch Ness Monster may be at the bottom of Loch Ness. So, you know, if they can see what's at the bottom of the ocean, maybe they can find Nessie. So,
well, I think Nessie's obviously too smart to be found. Probably got a little like basement or something to the loch that they hide in.
What, like a little trap door?
I reckon.
Yeah, she's chilling.
You know, like people are going to find me again. I'll just nip into the basement. Maybe it connects to the sea, and she can just nip out.
Well, you know, if they can find her at the bottom of the ocean, is she the Loch Ness Monster anymore?
That's true. Just a monster.
Oh,
maybe
lost her title.
We're the monsters. To be honest,
maybe we are for titling this monster a monster.
Oh
gosh.
What a very sad way. Let's
has the Loch Ness Monster done anything like to be a monster? You know, is it got any history of like attacking people, or does it just sort of hang around?
You know, I went to the Loch Ness Monster Museum, and I still couldn't tell you.
Wow. Good museum.
I was honestly about to say shout out the Loch Ness Monster Museum, but no. By the sounds of it,
get a better museum.
Yeah, tell us a bit more, please.
I was terrified as a child of it was quite, they had like a real life bit where you could like go and you like sit on a boat, and then it was terrible looking back on it. It like really wasn't realistic at all, but I had such a vivid imagination when I was younger that I really thought that it was all real, and I was like, oh my god, this is going to be under the boat, oh my god. So I just couldn't enjoy myself because I thought I was going to die when I was in the museum. So that's why I can't tell you. So no, shout out to the Loch Ness.
Shout out to it. A really incredible scene. Oh god. Should we wrap up? We've got one more for you, Millie. And this
hopefully less traumatic.
I really hope so. We've already delved into Scientology, what's it cats, and obviously the Loch Ness Monster and how traumatic it all is. But this one is, would you want to know the biggest meal that you'll ever eat? Like, what will the biggest meal you'll ever eat? What will it be? Would you want to know that well in advance to prepare yourself, or just let it come to you?
Nah, because then if you set a standard, then that's you. You're like, that's all I'm ever gonna conquer. So I can never try. So I don't want to live my life in fear of the most that I can eat. I want to, you know, always be wondering, how much could I possibly eat?
Plus, imagine how bad it'd be if you found out and it was like 5 years ago. You didn't even notice.
Oh, that
already happened.
That would be bad, wouldn't it?
Now you've just got to wait until what happens after you die.
If you already knew that, though, could you not challenge it? Could you not wake up and say, I'm going to eat that?
These are facts, okay? You can't go changing them. You can only learn. You can't change.
Oh, God.
It's
like getting your cards read to you.
Yeah,
exactly.
It's basically that. Yeah.
It's mealtime tarot.
That sounds like a band. I'm pretty sure we've played them on the show at some point. Incredible scenes. I think that's fair though, because like you always want to be like, I could probably go and eat that, but then like, you know, give yourself the ambition.
Jamie looking out the window at things. I could probably go and eat that.
Are you looking at my what's it cat?
Yeah. I could probably go and eat that. I'm not gonna, but I could probably do it.
You just want to know that you could, you could try at least. You don't want to know that, you want doors shut in your face. I think that's the
I
main
want to
thing,
think of
isn't it?
myself as a failure. No, thank you.
No, thank you. No, thank you. The big meal will come at some point. Especially if you watch like those like Man versus Food or like those sort of things, and you watch it and you go, yeah, I could probably do that.
Oh my gosh, I have been a vegetarian my whole life, right? But I'm going to tell you a little secret. I used to be addicted to Man versus Food, like addicted. I would come home from school and I'd watch like 4 episodes, and then I'd eat my vegetarian dinner and
back to back, just like watching.
Think about all the like steaks and all that stuff that he was eating, and I thought I didn't really think about it ever, but then one day I was watching it and I was like, why do I like this so much?
Yeah, why am I watching this?
It used to really fascinate me how sweaty he got.
Yeah.
He'd get to a certain point and it would cut back to him, and suddenly he was like so sweaty. As if he's got a certain point where he eats like certain amount of red meat and his body just goes, all right, we're going to sweat now. It's time to sweat.
It's like those old like Mr. Potato Heads where if you squeeze it, like Play-Doh would come out. It's kind of like that. Like, you'd be like, oh God, and then sweat would come out of it.
And I can't help but think, like, God, that's like sweat from the burger. That's like burger
straight
grease.
from the
sweat.
Yeah, quite horrible. Jesus.
Also, if you knew what day you were, was it the day that you eat food, or how much food you eat?
Yeah, it'd be
it's just
like
you know the meal and the timing of the meal. I think.
The time. Oh, so you could like prepare for it, and you could choose where you were gonna.
No, you just get told. You don't get to choose.
But it's going to be in the future.
But it's unchangeable.
I was going to say I could make it really good if it was just that you're going to eat this much at this time. I could just.
God,
make
that would
sure
be
it was
depressing
the
too.
best.
If they were like, the biggest meal you're ever going to eat is like 3 packets of digestives while you're hungover. Just
Yeah, it's a real brutal.
And you're there eating them, and you're like, I know that I'm going to eat 3 packets of these, and I don't even want them.
It's been written in the stars. It's written in the stars. I have to do it. Oh God! And with that pure digestive treats in mind, we've unfortunately come to the end of our time together, Millie. Really sad times. It's been. I think we've learned a lot. We've learned a lot today, and ultimately, whether you know or whether you don't know, just live. I think that's what we've learned.
That didn't mean anything.
That is beautiful.
Thank you, Millie.
Stop being so negative.
Right, I tell you what, you should see what he's like if I'm not negative. All right, this is you gotta push him down.
What, so that I spring up?
Yeah, exactly.
Like a Jack in the Box.
Yeah, that's you. A Jack in the Box is no fun if it's always just up flopping.
And with that well out of the way, Millie, thank you for coming on the show. It's been an absolute pleasure. Come back anytime, of course. You're more than welcome. Well, I mean, we need it, to be honest. Let's have a listen to another one of your tracks as you leave. So yeah, this is "Everything Will Be Fine" by the Ninth Wave. Millie, a pleasure.
Thank you so much.
And there goes Millie. That was Ninth
I mean,
Wave.
as I was saying before Millie was here, we record these separately, so we've just sort of sat here for 10 seconds, actually.
Yeah, get a real glimpse behind the curtain.
Millie goes in afterwards, so actually, we were just talking about Avenged Sevenfold, and now into tracks.
The whole time.
The whole time.
The whole time we sat here.
We left a gap as long as Millie's segment just to discuss Avenged Sevenfold and their shredding abilities.
Incredible to have Millie on, Ninth Wave. Incredible bands. Really learnt a lot there as well. You know, the What's Its cat, I think, will live long in my memory.
Along in my subconscious. That is my. You know when people say like they have a sleep paralysis demon, but they wake up. That's mine now. Just the what's it cat
at the end of the bed. Like, also Scientology. If this part of the show never makes the air, which I know is a bit weird because you would not be able to hear this, then you know what's happened.
They've got us. Anyway, tune in next week where we'll be speaking to Zaki Vengeance from Avenged Sevenfold
and L. Ron Hubbard from Scientology.
Yes,
incredible
who's
times.
been dead for many years.
A seance, if you will. I'll tell you what we don't need to bring back from the dead, because these are alive and kicking, and that is new music and new tracks, Jake.
All right, that'll do as a segue. Yeah, fine. What you got for me, Jamie?
Let's start the week.
Tickle my windpipe today.
Well, I can tickle it with this. Caroline Polachek is back, brand new single called "Bunny." Bunny is a rider, which is another hit. I mean, like Caroline Polachek for me is I don't want to say like underrated because everyone very much rates Caroline everything she's done. But over the past few years, she's kind of put out a bunch of music, which I think is just really, really just smart, like infectious pop. We heard like "So Hot You're Hurting My Feelings" that came out, which I thought was a big old hit. And this kind of continues that kind of like vein, really.
You've forgotten to mention her remix of "Oh Yeah," where she just added some bagpipes to the track. I think that was a high point for me.
That was a high point for you.
I do. I rate it. I rate someone remixing a track and being like, "What do I need to add to this?" Bagpipes.
Amazing.
I mean, fair play. No bagpipes on this one though, are there?
No. Caroline, of course, was also in Chairlift. Really, really great. I guess synth pop, for lack of a better term, electronic band, really, really good. And yeah, Bunny's a Rider kind of follows this momentum of what we've heard from Caroline, kind of as she's gone off into her like solo world. Really, it's just like really. I think it's sometimes hard. A lot of people who are quite ignorant about pop just kind of go, "Oh yeah, it's just there. It is 3 minutes, bam, there it is." And we as you can see on this show, we obviously do not think that. We love the bangers.
On 3 minutes and 17 seconds,
of course. Edit, please. And this is kind of, this is an example of just how brilliant like pop music can be. Featuring Danny LaHalle, who is involved in producing this track.
Which is weird, because this track's really good.
Fuck's sake. Well, MC Boing unfortunately couldn't make it.
At no point during this track did I feel like my head was being turned inside out and squished into a tiny ball at the same time.
Also on the track was Danny LaHalle's baby daughter's first vocal cameo. So that's nice.
I never understand this, because like, how young is the child? Like when DJ Khaled was like, this album has got my son on it. And I'm like, your son is a baby.
Yeah. Royalties, isn't it? That's not bad.
I suppose. But what if you grow up and you're like, God, I hate that album, and everyone thinks I made it when I was 6 months old?
This is a banger, and hopefully this is like the kind of start of the kind of like, I guess the next second album, I guess, from Caroline. Really looking forward to it. I think she just makes the most like razor sharp pop music going.
This track is so good. It's really like left field as well. It's not an obvious pop banger, but it is just one of those. I remember when I first listened to it, I was just like, yeah, this is. And to be fair, maybe that's as you say, the Danny LaHalle influence. It's very good at what it does, but what it does would seem quite risky unless you know what you're doing, I think.
Exactly.
Like this song could easily have been very bad and instead hits all the right notes.
Yeah.
And has a completely inexplicable quote to go with it. Where,
do you mean...
So Bunny is a Rider is a summer jam about being unavailable, Jamie.
Aren't we all?
Bunny is slippery, impossible to get a hold of. Maybe it's a fantasy, maybe it's a bad attitude, but anyone can be Bunny, at least for 3 minutes and 17 seconds.
So for the next 3 minutes and 17 seconds, let's all be Bunny. This is Bunny is a Rider by Caroline Polachek.
But I'm so non-physical. I do feel like a lady.
A rider, can't find her.
of you to say "Let's all be bunny" without either of us understanding what that meant. We could easily have just said something very
quite
embarrassing.
horrible, couldn't we?
Yeah.
It's not the first time we've done that on this show, and it probably won't be the last. So
That's true.
We'll just
I've
roll
got
the
some
dice.
new music for you, Jamie.
Oh, thank the Lord.
So
Jake,
triple buzzard, 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 buzzard times 3.
Friends of the show.
Friends of the show, of course. Famously said that Bagpuss was a racist.
a real highlight of our
I
show's
think I
run.
actually said, would he be a racist? So that's probably my fault. They've released a new song called Crescent Man versus Demolition Dan,
Incredible.
which is a superhero, Crescent Man, and a villain, Demolition Dan.
Right, there it
the
is.
song is all about them, basically. But actually, it's about politics in Cardiff, somehow.
You really nailed explaining this track, Jake. Just want to say. Layers.
This is. I really like Buzzard Buzzard Buzzard's kind of last couple of tracks, because this one especially is very like Kinks. Very. They're really doing a certain kind of a update on a period of music that not a lot of other bands are doing.
Yes. Yeah.
What was their previous one that had a long name that I can't remember? Come on, Jamie, tell me.
New Age Millennial Magic.
That's the one. That
Yes.
was quite similar. But
Yes.
this one as well, like it's that kind of Kinks thing of like social commentary dressed up as something quite surreal with like that really fun. It's like a breezy take on this kind of thing. And I think that's what they're really good at. Like when we were talking to them as well, like they're very politically switched on and very like into these kind of issues and that kind of thing. But it's not like doom and gloom, like everything is terrible. It's how do we talk about like, you know, gentrification in Cardiff? And it's like, well, what about if there is a superhero called Crescent Man based on a street called Guildford Crescent and a villain called Demolition Dan, which represents them demolishing a really nice area to build a high-rise.
Yeah, exactly. They do it so well. It's just so like I just enjoy this. There's this theatrical, quite silly, fun element to what they do, but it's never pushed into the point of, okay, this is ridiculous, because it's underpinned by just incredible songwriting and just like a track that like, I describe it as a track that has legs. Do you know what I mean? It has hips.
No.
This track. It moves, you know? It's a body.
It slinks around,
Yeah,
does it, Jamie?
you can see it. It is slinky going down the stairs.
It's got shimmery disco trousers on.
Yeah. It is a hip shake. That's all I can say. You feel this track, and I just rate the confidence that this band have at the moment, and they keep getting better. And I just love the fact that they can go to these theatrical edges and these audacious kind of like parts of it, and just pull it off without it becoming cliche or feeling like, oh, I don't know about that. They do it so well, and I think, like you say, that combination. With these kind of like, you know, political and obviously, you know, quite important messages as well they put out there. I'm a massive fan. And
it's also got the most Buzzard 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 quote attached to it, which is
please.
Cardiff is morphing into a culturally devoid hellscape littered with boarded up venues and sun-blocking student residencies, and the only solution the mind can conjure is relying on the intervention of some all-powerful superhero capable of turning back time, or maybe allocating public funds responsibly.
Never change, Triple Buzzard. Never change.
This is Crescent Man versus Demolition Dan.
Power to the Crescent Man, power to the everyman, power to that peasant fool, and power to the Crescent Moon. People running scared from demolition Dan. Kids don't seem to care about demolition plans or supply and demand. Well, I hope they meet the man of good health, an even better body, and bigger wealth.
Oh, tremendous stuff. I've got another new track for you, Jake.
Keep them coming. It's the only thing stopping me from hurling myself out the window in despair.
In a shock to nobody, in our highlighted tracks of the week, Baby Queen is a new one.
No way.
So like, it's getting to the point now where every track Baby Queen puts out, we've played. I'm pretty sure we've played every Baby Queen song that's out there on this show now. That's genuinely where we are. It started over a year ago with Internet Religion when that first came out. We've obviously had Baby Queen on the show, friend of the show, been on the cover of our magazine as well. Wonderful times, and she's back with a new track called "U-Shaped Hole." Very prolific at the moment. There's songs coming out, in rapid fire. There's a real just like sense that this momentum is building and building and building. Like we've talked before about how amazing kind of Baby Queen is. Just this, like, for me, the most exciting new artist, I want to say, going right now in terms of stuff that's gonna.
Confused.
That's good. Stuff. It's gonna be big. It's gonna be big. I'm a big fan. U-Shaped Hole is kind of this nice continuation from what we've heard from like Dover Beach, American Dream. This sort of emphatic, big pop chorus and hooks, but just so like, again, infectious. Done right. Like you're hooked right away. And it feels like at the moment she's putting her foot on the gas. Is the best way I can describe it. It just is getting bigger every single track. There is no let up. There's no like, oh, here's my side, here's my side acoustic one that, no, it's not the big hit, but I just want to put it out there. Every song is like just massive. Baby Queen takeover is just going to continue. What else can we say? What else can we say, Jake? It's just an essential. She pretty much has her own slot on this show now. It's kind of like a share.
Basically. Yeah. This is a Baby Queen Stan account now.
It very much is. And then we just try and fill the rest of the time when she's not putting out music. But yeah, huge song. Baby Queen's march continues. This is U-Shaped Hole by Baby Queen.
Procrastinate the pain, and I felt ashamed, so I kissed them all again. I took every drug so I could stay numb, but that just spent my depression. I get too drunk on medication, and that's the reason that I stopped listening to the music you listen to. But I still look at all your photos, so what's the use? I can do any fucking thing that I want to do, but there's a hole inside of me, and it's shaped like you. There's a hole inside of me.
Do you know sometimes you leave a U-shaped hole in me when we don't
I was
speak.
about to say the same to you, actually. But here we are. I think actually, am I taller than you?
I think we're about.
Yeah, I feel like a U-shaped hole or a me-shaped hole in you would just leave nothing, really.
You're not
Like
that. Hold on.
No, is it like we're a similar shape? So it would just be like nothingness left. The hole would be the whole thing. You might just have a bit of skin left.
So the difference I have is I thought the hole would be your head going through me, whereas you kind of just thought
me?
you thought it would be the head coming from the feet and up.
No, U-shaped hole. I thought it would be a hole shaped like me.
I thought it'd be shaped like
the whole of me.
Yeah, but
My
I thought
head.
the shape would be circumference rather than 2D.
I thought it would be silhouette.
Right. Okay. So the black.
Let's see.
Have
Now,
you
Jamie,
got some more
moving
Yes.
swiftly on. What is your favourite part of going to the zoo? I'll answer for you, Jamie.
Thank God.
It's the turnstile at the entrance, which is good because Turnstile have released a new song called "Alien Love Call" and announced a new album as well, which is coming out August the 27th. Called
Amazing.
Glow On.
Oh.
Do you like Turnstile?
I do like Turnstile. I was going to tell you, we're having a pretty rocky show here, by the way, this week.
Pretty rocky.
Really,
They're all
I don't know if
rocky.
you know. We heard about the download pilot, and now we're suddenly here.
Yeah. Now, weeks later, just before the Latitude pilot.
We've caught on. Big fan. Yeah, big fan of Turnstile. I think they are. They've obviously, they've become this huge live band. I think I know a lot of people who've gone to see them and say they are just phenomenal. There is this, this kind of like hardcore rock crowd who are just massively into that stuff. Like Time and Space was the album that came out, and it kind of just like got them in front of everyone, like were critically revered. And what I love about them as well, I guess, is that they are reaching people who aren't rock fans. Like it's not just that. It's a
the
great
fact that
reach.
we're talking about it in itself. I mean, I know we dip in occasionally, but I wouldn't consider myself a Turnstile ultra.
No.
As they're known.
Of course not. No, I think they are potentially, I think, one of the most exciting, if you want to say rock bands, alternative bands going. I think they, like you say, they're pushing the boundaries on kind of what kind of like they can do and make, and like especially with this track, obviously, that you brought up today. It's completely removed from that kind of fast-paced rock sound that you may have heard from them before. It's amazing.
Yeah, this is an interesting one, isn't it? Because it is quite almost chilled out, which I think is interesting that they've kind of led with this on the new album. Whether that's just a case of, as we've said before, like leaving the bangers for a bit further on into the cycle. But it's been
they're kind of like dropping. It's kind of this weird thing where they've kind of been like eking, like, I don't know, some music out there, and then it's kind of weird. They're kind of like, here's some music. Oh, and then also, by the way, there's an album. There's like a whole other project coming.
So they had their last album was 3 years ago, but they've had a couple of EPs since then.
Yeah.
So it's not like they're back after some huge absence, but it does feel like now is a time where they could they've got so much sort of cult appeal that it's almost reached the tipping point, and now I feel like it's a genuinely big event that they're coming back, even though it's only been a couple of years. Plus, this track is very different and very good as well. It doesn't feel like a band like trying something new, but it is very removed. So I'm quite interested to see how this album is, because as you say, so much of their reputation is that live band thing, and I don't really see how this track would fit into that.
It'd be very interesting to see. I like it. They're one of these bands who kind of have, I don't know, that this track in particular I could see on like a Tyler the Creator album, like easily. It's just amazing that they're trying this stuff out, and it just feels natural. It doesn't feel like someone's jumping and being very far removed.
It doesn't feel like someone's jumping the turnstile to get into London Zoo without paying.
If you want to taste my kisses in the night, babe, jump for this new track from Turnstile, as the saying goes.
This is Alien Love Call.
Hard enough to see. What else could it mean? Love is in the heart. It came like a dream. Learn is out to earn. So
oh, huge.
Huge.
Can't be the only one. Hey?
Now, Jamie, do you like Big Willie style?
We've had a discussion about this on the show before. Obviously, that is one of our seminal albums.
It is.
I'm glad that when we used to do the Hall of Fame feature that we never got around to doing Will Smith in that, but we got rid of that.
But we can make up for it now.
We can we? Yes, we can. Because it's album time.
Well, not with Will Smith, but Willow Smith.
That's right. Willow has dropped a brand new album called Lately I Feel Everything, capital letters.
Yeah.
Everything. Everything.
Like Ross Kemp when he did that thing, that video in the Euros.
Yes.
This means everything to me.
And also was half naked for no reason. Won't talk about that. But yes, Willow Smith, or going by Willow now. Lately I Feel Everything. This kind of grabbed everyone's attention because obviously a few months ago, I think that's right.
I don't know, time is a human construct.
Time goes slowly. Well, actually fast. Anyway, Willow put out a track called Transparent Soul.
Just refusing to even react to that. Yes.
with Travis Barker, which was kind of like a shock out of the blue because it was suddenly this alt rock smash out of nowhere from Willow
Do you
Smith.
wanna- Do you want to hear something?
Yeah, no, go for it.
Odd. I, for most of my life, really thought his name was Travis Parker.
Well,
And it was only like
what?
a year ago
What are
when
you
he
talking
started
about?
doing these collabs with people that I realised it was Travis Barker.
Do you mean like what, like Peter Parker? What?
Yeah, I guess.
What are you talking about?
Well, you know, there's what is it, the Mandela effect or something, where like you feel like you've gone into a parallel universe because something that you swear was always one thing is now slightly different. That's how I feel about Travis Barker.
Travis Parker.
Off topic there, but I had to get that off my chest. What? It's just a name. God, don't get.
So that track in particular kind of grabbed people's attention about Willow, being like, "Whoa, what? Hold on a second, Willow Smith's doing like pop punk and alt rock. Like, what's this all about?" And it's grabbed attention, and that leads into Lately I Feel Everything. Obviously, this new album. I think it's fair to say that I think when everyone thinks of Willow Smith, they obviously think of Whip My Hair, right? That's what they all think of. But what people kind of haven't realised is that kind of over the past, I don't know, like 5 years, like Willow Smith's been putting out this like pretty like interesting alternative music.
Yeah, I mean, what? This is her fourth album.
Yeah, like well, I think fifth technically.
Yeah, that's more than I've got.
Yeah, technically, I think like worked on an album last year, like putting out this really like alternative kind of stuff, which like she's been just experimenting a lot with loads of different things. Like, and I think it's you know, I get it. Whip My Hair was obviously a massive pop smash, but that was when she was like what, like 12?
I think she might have been younger than that.
Like a child. So like, you know, I mean, yeah, you can see this progression and in kind of like what she's been doing. But this is obviously the one that's grabbing attention because it's obviously this huge pop punk sound, you know, kind of out of nowhere and big fan, like changing things up, you know, just completely going for something new and throwing yourself into it. Not what obviously people expected. How do you kind of feel about this kind of reinvention, Jake? For lack of a better term.
I think it's good. I think the fact that it's good is impressive, as you say, because she, you know, it's a real reinvention. But I just think, I mean, if you listen to this and you didn't have any background on Willow Smith, on her other stuff, like this is a great pop punk alt album. Like it stands up with any other one. Like it's not. It doesn't feel like a case of if you weren't someone famous's daughter, this wouldn't have been released, and it doesn't feel like a case of like, oh, you're trying pop punk now. It's really, really good.
Yeah,
and I don't know how long it's been something that she's been into, but I really don't think it feels like someone just like dabbling in it.
No, it feels like someone who this is the music that they're listening to all the time. This is what they're interested in, and they're like, right, this is the sort of music I want to make. And it's kind of come from that. And I really rate artists who do that, who aren't just like, right, okay, I've made an album like this, I should kind of keep that. It's like, I don't know, it's like maybe like Shamir, who kind of put out this massive pop album as a first album, and then change things up completely, going proper lo-fi and alternative. I thought that was really interesting. But yeah, this
or when Bruce Willis released an album.
I genuinely thought you were going to say Vin Diesel's track for a second, and I was like, "Oh no, we can't."
Yeah,
we can't.
that too, actually.
And that too,
Big Vinny style.
Yeah,
I do love the fact, right? If this is the great thing, because I think like the great thing about being Will Smith's daughter is just the fact that it's like I'm making a pop punk album, and Travis Barker, by all accounts, seems to want to feature on everything ever. But also, like this has got an Avril Lavigne feature on it.
Yeah.
I just love the idea that it's like, I'm going to make this album and I want an Avril Lavigne feature. And it's like, yeah, we can do that. That's easy.
Avril, you up for it? Let's.
I mean, that may not be anything. I'm just assuming that is something to do with Willow's profile as one of the Smiths. It may not be. Maybe she bumped into her in a diner and said,
I think, like,
Avril.
the stuff that she's been putting out for the past few years, like you say, hasn't been exactly grabbing worldwide attention. But I think people really respect the fact that she's just like, do you know what? I want to try this today. I'm going to go and do it. And like, just isn't afraid of, you know, it doesn't feel like she has to like fit into a box or try anything like that. It's just straight up trying all these different styles, and that's where the, or I guess, authentic nature comes from it. But let's have a listen to the track that you just mentioned, which is
that's what I was leading into before you hijacked it. But,
this is Willow and
you do you.
This is Willow and Avril Lavigne and featuring Travis Barker with
Travis
Grow.
Barker.
Of course, with Grow or G space R space R space W.
I've been putting work in, healing myself, still got room to grow. I've been really searching, emotional well. Honestly, my heart is broke. I just need to grow, 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 grow. I just need to grow. Every time I look in my face, I feel everything. It's the same wrong pace. 'Cause no one ever truly knows just who they are. And I feel closer knowing I don't have to hide my scars.
Interesting to find out that Jamie thinks grow is spelt GRRW. There, well done.
Is that what I
Well
said?
done. Yep, that is what you said.
Well,
It's a banger, though.
It
Although,
is a
as you
banger.
were saying, like, what is interesting as well is that, as you say, like, this album is not her first. So, like, you can't even say that it's because of her profile that it's big, because the other albums, as you like, didn't really make that much of an impact
No.
outside of like fan circles.
No.
So this is clearly a very good version of what she's doing, because this one has been everywhere. Like, when this got announced, I thought, like, oh, is this her first like music since like Whip My Hair? And I looked at it and I was like,
I
no,
think that's
there's
what a
been
lot of
loads.
people think. I think that's genuinely what a lot of people think. They think, oh yeah, if I whip my hair, and that's kind of it. But yeah, Willow's been doing loads of stuff since then, and the fact that she's died on interest. I also like with this album that like there is such variety on it. And look, I think there are like a couple of tracks that don't work. Like you are a bit like, oh, I don't know about that. Not really sure that's any good. But as a whole, it's like the fact that she's putting herself out there, doing something completely different. When it is good, it's amazing. And
Plus, they don't really stick
brilliant.
around too long.
No,
So even the
it's a
ones that don't
very,
work as well.
this
Go make
album,
a cup of tea.
this
Go on.
album is 26 minutes long, which is
I'm into this new trend of albums being
Brilliant.
like 3 seconds long. It fits into my busy and hardworking lifestyle.
it's full on. I'm really keen to see if Willow obviously just kind of continues, in this kind of direction and kind of like genre, if you will. But again, because like we were saying with the other albums, it's completely right. This is going this way. I'm going to try this now. Like there's tracks on here that are much more not pop punk, but more like I don't know, like alternative, kind of like mellow, lo-fi a little bit in places. That could be a direction like she kind of like heads into. I rate
These are all just words, Jamie.
It's only
Yeah, lo-fi, mellow,
words.
alternative,
bubbling
one of these, disco,
Mixing.
techno,
words.
drum
in
and
your
bass,
face.
or to the floor.
Let's have a listen to another Willow track. This is something like a little bit different from the straight up pop punk stuff. This is Forever.
Ooh, you are my lifeline. It feels like a lifetime ago. When we first met, I was out my head, and so were you. I can't imagine ever going back now. And I never want to see you turn your back now.
Wonderful stuff.
While you were listening, you may have realised just through vibe, but that was Forever with a number 4, and then ever.
Just in case
real
you're looking this up.
classic.
In case you're looking this up
Yeah.
after the show. We don't need to get lost. But yeah, that was Lately I Feel Everything by Willow. Big fan. Everything. Interesting. Check it out. Also, it's only 26 minutes, so if you're like, oh, I'm too
It is.
busy, you're a
You've
liar.
listened to over an hour of this, so
You're a liar if you say
yeah,
you're too busy.
do yourself a favour.
Have a word. Right.
Now, Jamie,
Ah,
time for your star turn.
Is that how it's going? Right. Of the week.
Lovely, well done.
Was it
Enjoyable.
lovely though? Really? Lovely.
It was something. It happened.
It happened.
That's all we need.
Thank God. Jake, what's out in the world of Twitter?
Just
this
the
week?
one tweet, but it's a big one.
Right.
This one is from OGs in the game, the Teletubbies, who for some reason have Twitter.
Teletubbies have Twitter. Can I? Right. No. I'll let you go. I'll have questions afterwards. But yes. Continue.
Yeah. So the tweet is: forget star signs. We want to know which Teletubby you are. And then it's got Tinky Winky, Dipsy, Lala, and Poe. And it's got a few key bullet points about each one, where you can decide which one you are.
Okay.
So I don't know how you want to do this, Jamie. Should I read them out and you tell me which one you think I am?
Yeah. So if you read, maybe I've got the tweet here. So if you read out a couple, I'll read out a couple.
Okay. So Tinky Winky, that's the kind of purpley one with the triangle on the head.
Yes.
Is a drama queen, a fashionista, and takes way too long to get ready.
So who do you think that is? Let's break it down one by one. So out of the two there, out of the two of us, who do you reckon is a Tinky Winky?
I don't know, mate. I don't really think that's either of us. I think probably more me than you. I don't know if you've ever had some drama in your life. You're just sort of oblivious to the world.
Yeah, not really. I kind of just let drama bounce off, to be honest.
But you're definitely not a fashionista.
Well, excuse me, sir. I wore a turtleneck the other day. I think you'll find fashion
in the
is.
heat, indoors.
Okay, I'll give you that. Takes way too long to get ready. That's definitely you. I'll give you that.
Famously,
yes.
Me with all my oils and perfumes. Now, Dipsy. What's Dipsy like? That's the green one with the pointy head.
So Dipsy is artistic, mischievous, the messy one.
Right. I'd say you're mischievous and messy.
Mischievous
you're not
makes
artistic.
it sound like I'm up to trouble. I wouldn't say I'm up to trouble.
You're up to bits, aren't you?
I'm up to bits. That is true. I am artistic as well. Famously, I am obviously.
You're not. That's
creative.
incorrect. I have seen your drawings, and I've never seen worse drawings in my entire life.
Shout out to everyone who came to the Dork pub quiz. We will hopefully be having another one in the next few months, so keep an eye out.
Fingers crossed, eh? So moving swiftly on to Lala. That's the yellow one with the kind of crooked, pointy head.
Icon.
Lala is a natural performer, always at a rave, and a wannabe DJ.
Can I ask, where are they getting this from? Wannabe DJ?
I don't know.
Is there
since when? Always at a rave. Are there raves in the Tubby
Hills?
Hills?
A rave? What? Is that like Warehouse Project? Like,
I guess so, yeah.
Lala just in the crowd watching
Plus,
Ben
natural
UFO.
performer, wannabe DJ. Well, which one is it?
It's one of the two, isn't it? How do they come up with this? What's the science?
No idea.
I want to break down the kind of reasons behind everything here.
They've probably just got really drunk and wrote it.
What, that Teletubbies HQ?
Yeah. What do you think? Someone gets paid to just do the Teletubbies social media, or if they have to do a few different social medias to pay the bills?
I don't think the Teletubbies social media is that popping. But then again, this has popped, so maybe
That's true.
This is enough for a month. If they're done by
Maybe. Do you think they get paid by the like?
I was about to say, what, 1 p per like. And to be fair, would have done very, very well at this.
Well, what? 1p per like, 100,000 would be a tenner. That's only 319 quid, I think.
Oh. Well, here's hoping if you are the person behind the Teletubbies HQ Twitter account, give us a shout. We'd like to know more about your personal finances, by the sound of it.
We would. Jamie,
Lala,
which one of us is always at a rave and a wannabe DJ?
I mean,
I think we can both take that.
Yeah.
We're a duo.
also
We come as a duo.
natural performers. Well, here we are. You know, aren't we?
Exactly. And
Aren't
it's
we
very
both?
clear that neither of us are a natural at this.
You should know by now. It's been a while.
Now, the final one, Jamie, is Poe. What's Poe like?
Poe is a free spirit. Just to get Poe is obviously the red one with the circle
the
top.
circle dongle.
Yes, the circle dongle.
The key ring, the loop.
Yes. So Poe is a free spirit, is innocent, and in what can only be described as the most risque line out of the whole entire selection, it turns out that Poe is a tubby toast lover.
That's not risque. You remember the tubby toast? Lovely. Now, if you replace Tubby Toast with hot dogs in a can, that's you. That's you to a T.
Wait. Innocent's a strong word, which I'll take.
You are kind of innocent in a very perverse way, though.
Perverse?
You always think the best of people.
I do.
If someone told you they were the wallet inspector, you'd hand it over.
Yeah, this is why I don't have a wallet anymore. Peak times. I'll take Poe. There wasn't there a bit of controversy about one of the Teletubbies doing something?
I don't know, was there? I mean, one of them's called Tinky Winky.
Yeah,
so...
we should have known really at that point. I'm pretty sure there were 5 Teletubbies, wasn't there? Am I wrong?
Tinky Winky Dipsy. No. Yeah, there are.
Oh, no,
that's true.
No, I was convinced.
Oh, maybe you're thinking of Nunu.
Nunu. Oh, yeah, supporting characters. Yeah. Obviously, the Sun Baby, of course, as well.
Yeah, still terrifying.
Terrifying.
The Sun Baby's an adult now. That's weird, isn't it?
I don't like that.
No one likes that.
Not the ones. But obviously, yeah, if you want to obviously find out which Teletubby you are, obviously go to their Twitter account. Done very well for themselves.
I mean, we've just explained them all. So if you're not any of those, then you're Nunu, I'm afraid.
I'm afraid to say.
Does Nunu eat the dirt?
I thought Nunu kind of was more of a grass, kind of more like a cow in a lot of ways.
Cow hoover.
Yeah. I mean, like, if you stuck a cow in like a room full of rubbish, the rubbish will be gone pretty quickly. That's all I'm saying.
I don't know. I think maybe a goat.
Maybe it's a goat.
Probably
then.
not.
Maybe it's a goat.
All right, Nunu is a goat. I'll take it.
Nunu the goat, as it's known. Did you know, Jake? You're probably wondering, you're talking about a lot about Teletubbies here. This isn't related to a music show. Well, I think you'll find, Jake, the Teletubbies have a #1 single.
Yeah, me too.
D, what's your one?
Tub Thumping.
Cool. Mine is Love Me Again.
I was Chumba.
Teletubbies have a #1 single. That means, in real keeping with the ridiculousness of this show, let's have a listen to Teletubbies with Teletubbies Say Eh-oh.
Want to hear you say "uh-oh"?
Do you remember?
That's it.
I like the way that we started the show being like, we've got a new issue of the magazine out, amazing new bands, really keeping with the dork aesthetic, and we ended it with Teletubbies Say "eh-oh". So ultimately, the perfect
it's like a
show.
water slide. You start off fast, and you end up in a pool of mainly child's urine.
So whilst we try and get out of the pool of child's urine, I think that's the end of the show. Unfortunately,
it is. That's all we've got time for. Any predictions for next week, Jamie, while we're here?
Yeah, I reckon that we're going to find out that Alfie Templeman can secretly juggle knives now that he's obviously the grand old age of 10. So, well done to Alfie. What about you, Jake? Do you think there's any predictions going to happen?
I think no one is going to volunteer for Black Midi's open mic thing except for us, and we'll have to follow them around on tour dressed as a pantomime horse.
Just turn up to the first date. Fancy sticking around?
Yeah, like, sliding us 100 quid under the table. That's what I reckon.
Just doing summer nights every night. And it's like, ladies and gentlemen, Black Midi.
Yeah.
Oh, amazing.
So that's all we've got time for. We've got a tour to prepare for.
We do.
come back next week. Please come back next week. And now that it is hot out there, remember, if you do have a dog, walk them in the mornings or the evenings, and especially on the grass, as the tarmac can heat up and burn their little paws.